So unhealthy. Today I attempted to make a vegan version of the stuffing that my mom used to make for Thanksgiving every year. Hers was sausage and bread, and yeah, this is what happened when I tried to veganize it without proper skills or knowledge. So I started off by heating up 3 tablespoons of vegan butter and adding 1 medium chopped up onion, 3 stalks of celery. Then I put some seasoning in. That's poultry seasoning. I think it's a teaspoon and a half a teaspoon of pepper, and half a teaspoon of salt. And I cooked that for a few minutes. Then I took some vegan sausage and I plopped it right in there and cooked that up. And those brown bits were sticking to the pan, so I've always heard that's when it's time to throw in the broth and deglaze that thing. So I put that broth in and I stirred and stirred and stirred, and it worked. Look, all the brown bits came up, and that's flavor going into my mixture. And I think my mom used to put eggs in her stuffing, so I did 3 flax eggs and threw them in there too. I cubed up a half loaf of rye bread, and it's time to introduce these two. Mix them up. I swear it must be the worst cook on earth. What the f, man? Okay, so that mixture with the onions and the celery and the vegan sausage and the spices and the butter and the veggie broth and the flax eggs, I mixed it in here. This just seems a little dry to me. I put an actual 1 cup. I already put a cup of this broth in there, and I think it needs more because it's dry. And cooking it will make it even more dry. So let me go half cup at a time. Half cup. I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I swear I'm just like the worst. The worst. I've seen this done a couple ways where it's more dry and where it's more like red pudding like. I kind of like it on the dry side, but not, bone dry. So I think it needs another half cup of veggie broth. That should be plenty. I really want to taste this veggie broth and see if it's salty. Okay, this is low sodium. I just noticed. No wonder it tastes like it needs salt. So let me mix this up. It tastes like damp bread. I'm going to put some more poultry seasoning from Sprouts. Let's just drop a bunch in there like that. And then I'm going to put in a decent amount of salt. And we'll see. I definitely think this is more like the consistency that my mom's stuffing would have been. It's just eating up the salt. I mean, probably so unhealthy. Anyway, I'm going to put this in a baking dish, a small baking dish, and put it in the oven for a little while and see what happens. See if it's stuffing-esque. Okay, it's the moment of truth. Let's see. This baked in the oven for 30 minutes at 350. Okay, so it's steaming a little bit, and the consistency I think is pretty close to my mom's stuffing. Let's see if it tastes any better now that it went through the oven situation. Okay, pretty good. I think the sausage I used could have been a little bit more spicy because it's a little bit bland still. Actually, I think I would double the amount of sausage that I put in there for that amount of bread. So, okay, so what I would do is I would start out first with the vegan sausage that you know that you like, that you've tried and is good. This stuff I don't really know. I'd never tried it before. It's the only one that they had at Sprouts. So, hi, baby. Come up. Come up. Come up. Yeah, so get a vegan sausage that you really like, even if it's, you know, the kind that you have to slice up and it's not in the casing that you can just make loose. Oh, the kissy face. Oh, the kissy face. Okay, so here's what I would do. Start with a vegan sausage that you know you like. It's got to be a little bit more flavorful than... It's got to be strongly flavored because you're going to put a lot of bread in there that's bland. Yeah, so I would double the amount of sausage I put in there. Definitely, you have to adjust for salt. I got a low sodium faux chicken broth, vegan chicken broth. So, yeah, that will affect the amount of salt that you have to add in. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. It's okay. My advice would be find a vegan food vlogger that you trust and try their recipe, because I obviously have no idea what I'm doing. Trying to wing it, thinking I can become more of an intuitive cook, but you know, I make some progress and then the next thing I make is a disaster. So anyway, yeah, so I guess learn from my mistakes. Don't try to wing it if you don't have the skills. Follow some advice from somebody that knows. And that's it. I'm gonna eat this anyway. It's a little bit mushy-gushy, if you can see. I mean, it's alright. It's kind of like the consistency of what stuffing is supposed to be. So, anyway, that's it for today. Enjoy.